Fran, at the 7 furlong start, plenty of good handicaps run from this start, but you can just see the expanse of the straight here, and you might just chat us through that.
Dave, yes, this is an interesting start because it's pulled off the running rail towards the inside to negate the dog leg a little bit, but at this point you can see how wide the track is. This is the widest part of the straight mile, as we call it here, to Curragh, and the layout of the track is start the season in March with a meeting there where you might go to the right, and then as the summer goes on you might go to the left, and for the Guineas and Derby meeting it'll be somewhere in the middle, but there's a great variety of options which you do get at the Curragh. There's fresh ground at every meeting, and you can just illustrate the space that they have to use the track.
And how important is to draw for the 7 furlong races? Because presuming the stalls are going to be in the centre of the track here, do you want to be drawn low or high?
Depends on the track layout, and that's something always worth checking with the Curragh, depending on where the running rail will be. If they say it's the stand side track, high is not too bad, but if you're on the inside it's definitely a disadvantage if the ground is quick on the fast side, because most riders want to go right. But flip side of that, in the autumn time, if it's soft, you'd like to be high to go stand side where the perceived best ground is.
And is it a very fair 7 track?
Not often you come in and say the draw beat you over 7 furlongs. You might get that on a day in a sprint, 5 and 6 furlongs, but the 7 furlong track is usually down to your horse.
And as we walk along here, Fran, as we pass by the 5 and 6 ball, you can just see that gentle, gradual climb. There's a bit of a dip, and you can just see the way there's a climb and it levels off and a climb again.
There is, Dave, and that's one thing about the Curragh. There's a perception when you look at it at home or you're here in a day that the Curragh is flat. You know, you think of flat plains of Ireland, the Curragh, and it's definitely not. As you can see, there's a gentle downhill run, and then you rise for about 2 furlongs. When we get to the 3 furlong point, that'll become clear, rises up, a slight downhill run, and then for that last furlong and a half you get that good uphill incline.
And when you look at the 7 start, you see horses, are they 6, 7 furlong horses? I would have thought that a 6 horse, they'd really want to stay particularly well to get home over this 7. It looks like a stiff 7 just from the optics of here.
It is, particularly if you don't get cover in a race. You know, it's a long way home here. You have to work hard to get into the race, and that uphill run the last furlong finds out your stamina. If you're not going to get to the trip, you're not going to win the Curragh.